Italian Wine Podcast. Chin Chin with Italian wine people.
This podcast is brought to you by Native Grape Odyssey. Native Grape Odyssey is an educational project financed by the European Union to promote European wine in Canada, Japan, and Russia. Enjoy. It's from Europe.
Hello, this is the Italian Wine Podcast with me, Monty Waldin. My guest today is Puru Manvi. Puru has an estate in Montepulciano, which is in central Tuscany, and you've had the estate only for a very short time, haven't you? What happened?
We bought this place in 2015.
So we being?
My wife Sudha and I, and we moved to Tuscany from Switzerland. It's the smallest winery in Montepulciano.
So when we talk about Montepulciano, we're talking about Vino Nobile di Montepulciano DOCG, a red wine from Tuscany. We're not talking about anything to do with the grape called Montepulciano in Abruzzo.
That's right. That's an often misconception. People think Montepulciano is the grape as well here in the case of wine.
And we'll talk later on about changes that may or are being made to the Vino Nobile di Montepulciano, the DOCG denomination, to make it clearer for consumers. So you've arrived at a good time, I think, as well.
In 2015, in fact, yes.
So you were living in Switzerland. What were you doing in Switzerland?
We both were bankers. We worked at different banks in Switzerland, Hong Kong, Canada, all over the place, and my last stint was in India. And I always had a passion for wine, but I was more on the consuming side and sommelier side. So I had done some courses on the sommelier side. But then eventually, when I turned 50, I wanted to do something different in my life. Nothing to do with finance, banking, technology, that sort of thing. So we picked up on wine because it was a passion, and also something that I could learn for the rest of my life. I knew something, but not enough. And it had to be physical. So winemaking ticked most of the boxes. And we love Italy. We like anything, or I in particular like anything Italian. I'm biased. So it was easy for us to pick the place. Within Italy, it had to be either Piedmont or Tuscany for us. Piedmont we could not afford, so we decided Tuscany it should be. Better weather, and given my biking interests, it served me even better. So we bought this small place, which is under 2 hectares, and so we are the smallest winery in the Consorzio of Vino Nobile di Montepulciano. It had to be organic, and we are organic. In fact, the previous owner had this winery for over 25 years, and it has been organic since 2003, one of the oldest organic farms in Montepulciano. So we acquired that place, and since then we have changed a few things, and the journey has been very good.
So what did you change? Did you change things in the vineyard, or was there a winery?
We changed things in the vineyard in terms of the quantity, quality. So we are for quality. That's the only game we play. And the previous owner wasn't marketing his wine in the market. He was consuming it in his restaurant, hotels that he has. And there was an upward potential for us when we bought the place. So we improved the quality of the wine. Obviously, as a trade-off, we had to go down with the quantity. However, we also planted in 2017 a half a hectare more. And with that, we'll come back to the original quantity of 10,000 bottles a year.
So which part of the Montepulciano zone are you in? We
are in the southern sector called Sant'Albino, Paterno. These are the 2 names that are used for identifying that area. It's the vineyards are at a height of 430 meters,
which is
quite high.
Quite high for Vino Nobile.
Yeah, and so we're fortunate that way. Also, blocking from the northern cold winds, we have some small hillocks there. So it's in a small valley called Vallardenia, and overlooking the town of Montepulciano on one side, and on the other side, Val di Chiana. So it's a very beautiful location. Actually, we did fall in love with the place first. We had other choices in Chianti Classico region, but we picked Montepulciano, also for the wine, but also for the view.
So what did you change in terms of the management? Was it conventional when you bought it, or was it already organic?
It was organic, as I said, since 2003. We are one of the oldest. We changed the wine making techniques. We are improving on the techniques with respect to quality. I said earlier in the vineyard, but also in the winery. We are moving away from barriques into big barrels of French oak. So we started that in 2017. So every year we are trying to bring some new changes. Obviously it costs money and it takes time for the wine to come out. We changed the brand. It was called Gianotti before with a different logo.
So it was for the Gianotti family.
That was right. And then we now call it Manvi, which is our family name. We come from a town in India. That's our origin. And the town is called Manvi. So we kept the same name for the winery. It also sounds a bit Italian.
Manvi, no, it does, doesn't it?
Yeah, so we kept the name and start a new tradition. So that's what we changed in terms of logo, branding. The good thing is we could do all of these things and bring in the changes. However, we don't have any clients. So we're starting at the bottom because he would consume it in his hotel and restaurant. So we have to acquire clients now.
So what's your USP when you go into the market? Is it the fact that both of you are from India, or is it the fact that you're organic, or is it the fact that Montepulciano, Vino Nobile di Montepulciano is for me an up-and-coming and much underrated Tuscan wine? What's your approach?
I think the latter part, what you said, is true. Let me talk about that first. Vino Nobile di Montepulciano is underrated, and I think it has an upward potential, which we are trying to work with the Consorzio to improve that. I have a global network of my banking colleagues, so I bring that to the table and we can promote the brand globally. However, that's not easy and that's a long-term plan. In the meantime, so our value proposition here is that we don't need to make wine. We make wine because we love to make wine. We made some money as a banker in Switzerland, so we have some pension, and so we can live off that. As long as my business breaks even, I'm okay. I don't need. So my game here is quality, passion for the wine.
What do you think about the changes, the idea that it is very confusing, this wine called Vino Nobile, the noble wine of Montepulciano di Montepulciano, the town of Montepulciano, and the proposition that's going through, it'd be a long process, but it's been started, is to call the wine simply Vino Nobile, and it's called Vino Nobile, the noble wine. It means the wine of the nobles in the medieval period. That's how it got its name. Do you then think that's a good thing or a risk?
I think it's a very good thing. I have been proposing that also right from the beginning. So we should, in fact, now we can already write Nobile much larger in respect to the Montepulciano.
But were you well received? Obviously, you're not from the area, and we could even, just looking at you, we can see that you're not. The way you dress.
Yeah.
Was it, who's this guy from this banking chap? What's he doing, trying to tell us what to do? But you're not like that, are you?
No. I think it's a way of life. We moved here. The difference between us and some of the other foreign investors is that they're just investors, many of them. They invest, put an Italian guy to run the place, and then they come and visit the vineyards once every year with their family, etc., etc. In our case, we moved here. We live here now in Tuscany, and we make the wine. I work the vineyards every day with my wife. She does as well. I make the wine. I have a consultant enologist who comes 4 or 5 times a year to help me. But otherwise, we are everything. I'm the manager, I'm the farmer, I'm the worker. So when they see that, and when they see my passion and interest to promote not just my brand, but also Vino Nobile di Montepulciano, I'm very welcome here.
Good. I think, diversity, is such a strength in any field or fields, in anything to do with agriculture. Successful agriculture is built on diversity, biodiversity. And we often underestimate, I think, the human and cultural diversity and what that brings to, what you're saying, what that brings to the table. Your experience and also your way of, your origins, the way that you see the interaction between man and nature.
Mm-hmm, absolutely.
Yeah, go on.
They see that.
Don't be shy.
Yeah, and
I know you're not.
No, we are. No, they see the diversity. They see that, and as I said, we can bring a lot more to the table. We will work with the Consorzio down the road in terms of enlarging the market. India is, for example, a market that is untapped for us. We would like to enter India, but we need to do it as a consortium. We cannot do it as an individual. So that's something that we can also bring from my global experience and working with the nature, caring for the quality, what we take from the earth, we would like to give back as well. So organic, and it's not organic for the name, and in a true sense organic. So those are the principles that we follow in making of the wine.
And organics is also growing in, as it is in Montalcino and Vino Nobile as well.
True.
You've got some very good estates,
True.
Even under the radar estates that are moving that way. It's very varied in terms of soil type, Vino Nobile, and adopting strategies to take account of that parcel by parcel. That's slowly starting to happen, and you're really seeing an improvement in terms of how tannins are expressed in Vino Nobile across the board, whether on sandy soils or clay soils, and there are also altitude differences as well. So you're a microcosm, I think, of that in
That's
what you're
true.
doing. Yeah.
And our wines have been recognized very widely. For the first time, we presented our wines at the Anteprima this year, where we met you actually. And
I spat mine out when I came to your table. I said,
that's right. Yeah.
having told you that was excellent wine.
Yeah, yes. And since then, we have several publications, Falstaff and winning.it, etc. They've all published our wine. Was blind wine tasting, as you participated. So our wines have come out very on the top. And often the comment was also sincere and natural, because we don't use any commercial yeast in the winemaking. It's the yeast that is there in the nature. So the wines that we want to make, quality in terms of also representing the terroir, it's 100% Sangiovese that we have in our Nobile di Montepulciano. No yeast added. So what you're seeing is a true expression of the region, and that's what we want to do.
What you're also seeing in Vino Nobile is much greater attention to detail in terms of the weight of tannin and the weight of fruit, and getting those to marry up maybe a little bit more harmoniously than they did in the past, and that is also down to producers identifying the differences in soil types and vinifying accordingly. And you're obviously, as a small producer, that's probably slightly, quotes, easier for you. I know it's not easy, also being small, but that is the trend that we're seeing in Vino Nobile, and what Puru is saying is he's sort of emblematic of that, I think, as well.
We absolutely.
Shall I become your PR manager? Am I any good?
Yeah, you
speak a couple of languages
very well. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not the world's greatest public speaker, but you can coach me.
You've done well.
You've done a lot of banking presentations.
Yeah, I've done a lot of banking presentations.
Yeah, and they're your past history.
That's my past history. So it has helped me actually in the winemaking.
Well, we'll send you the invoice for this interview.
Absolutely, please.
How do you prefer, by email or just by?
You send me the invoice, I'll send you the wine. We pay in wine right now.
Okay. Well, can you a bit of money to Cayman Islands, my account there, and a bit of wine would be good.
No. That notoriety is not there.
Okay.
That was probably ancient history.
Right. We're gonna. As soon as the microphones turn off, we're gonna negotiate this one.
Okay.
Probably take us 4 hours, right? Just to say, thanks to my guest today, Puru Manvi, for explaining a little bit about his family domain in Vino Nobile di Montepulciano in Tuscany. It's a great little project, and it's should be one of your first stops if you visit the region. A happier couple I've yet to see. Really, really enthusiastic, and the wines really, trust me, they stack up. I'm not saying that because they're organic. I'm not saying that because they're made by somebody who's not from Tuscany. I'm saying that because that's what I think, and they're really nice wines.
Thank you very much.
You were a little bit surprised, weren't you?
No.
I just rocked up at your table.
Thank you very much.
You probably thought, oh my God, this guy's idiot English guy who thinks he knows a bit about wine is rocking up at my table.
Appreciated it.
No, it was great to meet you. It was a very nice moment, and
thank you.
I'm so happy that we've got you. Hopefully we'll get you back and you can explain in a couple of years' time about the changes that will by then, we hope, have happened to the Vino Nobile di Montepulciano denomination.
I'd love to come back and talk again.
Thanks. Well, you just, so if you pay the bill for this one, then you'll be you'll be top of the list.
I will do that. Thank you.
Thanks, Puru. I wish you every success.
Thank you very much, Monty.
This podcast has been brought to you by Native Grape Odyssey, discovering the true essence of high-quality wine from Europe. Find out more on nativegrapeodyssey.eu. Enjoy. It's from Europe.
Follow Italian Wine Podcast on Facebook and Instagram.